there I was, sitting in the corner, the boss's son, 25 years old, in his first week of puberty, still trying to hide his erection from the night before. Hi folks, it's Uranus from Brussels. Welcome to another video. Today we're talking about 9 things in my life that I had to learn much later than other people because of extremely delayed puberty. I only joined the club when I was 25 and I started HRT. So let's just say there's a lot of things I had to catch up really quickly. Most folks got this list covered by the time they're 16 years old, but I was a bit of a late bloomer. Some things I learned from books, tutorials or YouTube videos, and other things I just had to experience for myself. Alright, let's start straight up with number 9. Shaving. I literally had to learn how to shave at 26 years old. Before that, I had no facial hair at all before starting hormones. So at 26, I sat down behind my laptop and I had to Google how to shave. First it grew in patches, so I was shaving everything off, but then after a while I could leave it and trim it. Maybe I should have done a little bit more research, because it's only after 5 years I found out that you actually need to change the blade out of some electrical shavers. Now, I love facial hair, by the way. I really love having hair on my face, and I hated it when I was 25 and I didn't have a single hair on my face. Not a single one, guys. Number 8, how to deal with spontaneous erections. Although I don't think you can call this spontaneous anymore. When I received my first shot of testosterone, of 300 milligrams of testosterone right in my ass, I pretty much was erect for 12 hours per day for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not exaggerating. The thing down there really came alive. I never had a natural erection before that, so yeah, I had to learn how to deal with this. I even tried icing my genitals at night. Sometimes it got painful too, you know. I don't think our dicks are meant to be erect 12 hours per day. Funny anecdote is, when I started my hormonal replacement therapy, I had just lost my job, and so my father hired me for a couple of weeks in his office, an office full of lawyers, and I was doing some work there. So he put me in a room next to this really good looking lawyer with a lot of silicone features that would turn anybody's head around. And so there I was, sitting in the corner, the boss's son, 25 years old, in his first week of puberty, still trying to hide his erection from the night before, you know. I still laugh about it with my younger brother, because he also worked in that office for a couple of weeks with exactly the same chick in exactly the same office, and we still laugh about it right now, because we actually learned afterwards that was actually a horrible person. You know, I had to learn that afterwards. Just because something looks good doesn't mean it actually is. Alright, number 7, using deodorant, and for a good reason. Before I started my hormonal replacement therapy, I never really smelled bad. So I used deodorant, but it was more for fun and for being cool. Now it is literally a necessity for the rest of humanity in Brussels. I believe when you go through puberty, your sweat glands start working more, and you produce more DHT. And DHT can make you smell like an animal, a dead one. Funny thing is, it didn't happen immediately. For the first 2 years of my treatment, I was on HCG, and I never really noticed that I was smelling badly. But once I switched to testosterone, I could definitely smell it. Nothing a shower and maybe some bleach can't solve though. Number 6, dealing with acne and pimples. This has to do a lot with the previous point, because yet again, testosterone and specifically more DHT are responsible for making your skin more oily. So the bottom line is, I finally lost my baby skin. When your skin is more oily, your pores can get clogged up and you can develop pimples and worse, acne. I had acne for a good 18 months on my treatment, because I was treated by idiots in a hospital who gave me the wrong type of treatment. People at work back in those days, people at work were making fun of me because I had acne on my face, and they were joking around that I was going through puberty. Well, I actually was going through puberty at 25, you know. Once I changed doctors and I was much more stable, I never had a pimple or acne again in my life. Next up, number 5, I had to learn to use tissues. Here I am talking about masturbation on YouTube. So before I started hormonal replacement therapy at 25, basically I was shooting blanks. There was nothing coming out of it down there. There's no other way or no other words to put this, guys. Sorry. The thing was mostly used for peeing all the Belgium ale I was drinking in the weekends, and nothing else came out. I remember once I started HRT, it didn't take long before I was actually producing sperm. I think I actually had tears in my eyes the first time I wet myself. Finally at 26, and I love the feeling. I'm sorry for my excitement, guys. The weird thing is, before I started my hormones, I never had really any sex drive, but when I was masturbating, I could actually come twice in a row. Now there is only a single bullet in the chamber anymore, and I have a high refractory period. One thing I never had though is a wet dream. I don't need to dream anyway. I have a Czech girl sleeping next to me. Which brings me to number 4, learning how to use condoms. Well, to be totally honest with you guys, it's mostly a task I delegate to my partner, because I'm the kind of idiot who in the heat of the action can start to panic because I don't know to put the thing upside down or whatever in the wrong direction, so I just delegate that to my partner. Panic and sex don't go well together for me. My father gave me my first pair of condoms when I was 8 years old, and it's only actually 20 years later that I actually needed one for the first time. Which brings me to number 3. I had to learn and Google how to eat pussy at 28 years old. I did extensive research using books, articles, and videos. There's a really educational book, by the way, guys, called She Comes First. It's a really nice book about the female anatomy, and you will learn a lot. But this one you learn the best by practicing. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into details right here. Let's move to the next point. Number 2, never ever under any circumstances have sex with one of your colleagues. Trust me, it's not worth it, and I had to learn from my own mistakes the hard way. Business is business, and bodily fluids should never be exchanged between two people working in the same building. Last but not least, to keep this list a bit more serious, I had to learn to be social and to talk to other people. I used to be the biggest introvert ever. Now I'm here on YouTube talking about my tissues. I really also had to learn to be me, to be Uranus, how strange that might sound. I used to adapt my personality to other people, to be included in the gang or whatever, and I just don't do that anymore. Uranus is Uranus. Alright, that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment to support my channel. Subscribe if you like my content. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Uranus out.